What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Advice back with another one. This is episode 2 of the Grimmsnarl team showcase. Let's jump into it. So our first opponent of the day is running Trick Room. I expect to see Maushold in the lead with either Hatterene or Mimikyu. I like to lead screens against Trick Room just to get my defense established early. Taz is good against the Maushold. Cervantes is great for the Torkoal. And then I'm looking at that Mudsdale, and I want to bring Rotom. It's really my best way of hitting it. That looks good. We'll lock it in. So I like Taz in the lead because it has Drain Punch, which is really good against the Maushold. So I can take an attack from Hatterene and then get that back, just to help me kind of stall out some of the Trick Room turns. And then, if they bring in Kingambit after the Maushold goes down, then Terra Steel is a really good option for withstanding the damage. So it really depends on who they bring in first after, I disrupt their lead. Okay, we see Maushold Hatterene as their lead. That's cool. They're probably going for the redirection. I want to get Reflect up first just so that Light Screen lasts longer. I could go for the Rage Fist into Hatterene. But I think I'd rather go for the bulk up, just in case they have Kingambit or Mudsdale in the back. So Reflect should allow Grimmsnarl to survive a Pop Bomb. And if they do just go for like a Dazzling Gleam or a Psychic instead of going for Trick Room immediately, I can just Drain Punch the mouse and get that back, set up a Light Screen. So okay, Pop Bomb misses Grimmsnarl on the first hit. Getting some of that 1 in 100 luck today. That's what I like, I like. Bulk up will be really good for getting to this Trick Room. We got 4 turns to get through. Things are looking up. So I'm going to get that Light Screen up now, and I'll just go for a Drain Punch into the Maushold. +1 should pick up unless it's Sash. And that'll allow me to sat back any of the damage that Hatterene does. They go for the Helping Hand right away, but both these Pokemon are pretty bulky on the special side, so I'm not really worried about it. Dazzling Gleam does good damage, but we'll get a lot of that back with this Drain Punch. And yeah, that's great. So the second turn of Trick Room wasn't so bad. They've got 3 left. I think it's really good to keep track of exactly how many turns of Trick Room are left each turn. It'll really help you make decisions when you're playing against Trick Room. It can kind of seem overwhelming, but Trick Room really isn't that bad to play against. As long as you go into it with a definite game plan, you're not just throwing haymakers. So they bring in the Torkoal. This is cool. We have Light Screen up. I do want to save Annihilape. So I'm just going to go for a Thunder Wave into Torkoal. Try to, make their day a little harder. And I'll switch Ceruledge in. Just want to save that Annihilape for the Kingambit if they have it in the back. Okay, we see their Terra Torkoal, per usual. Thunder Wave's great because if we get even one full para, it's going to make it really hard for them to accomplish what they want to in the short time that they have with Trick Room up. So we see Eruption into Flash Fire. Grim is going to go down. And Hatterene makes the smart switch to Psychic. Good play. But Ceruledge takes it really well, so I'd say we're in a good spot. I'm going to bring in Rotom. The sun is up, but I want to go for Hydro Pump into the Torkoal. It'll do a little bit more damage than Thunderbolt, and I want to reduce their eruption damage as much as possible. And I'll just protect Ceruledge just in case they Earth Power. Okay, they swap out Torkoal, but that's cool. I mean, we're stalling out turns, so Kingambit comes in. We do have Annihilape in the back to deal with that. They've already used their Terra, so they're going to stay 4x weak to fighting. And we catch a Psychic with the Protect. That's huge. Hydro Pump misses, but that's fine. I believe they have one turn of Trick Room left now. I need to start sticking damage to this Hatterene so they don't get another Trick Room up. I'm just worried about the double up into Rotom. But we still have Light Screen and Reflect, so I am going to go for the Thunderbolt. Should do significant damage, and I'm worried about a Sucker Punch into Ceruledge, but if they do Sucker Punch, that means that Rotom's definitely staying alive, so I'm just going to go for the Shadow Sneak. Yeah, and that way we're guaranteed to get some damage off into Hatterene. Okay. They Psychic into Rotom, and we take it really well. And Ceruledge goes down, but Rotom's healthy, so that means we're going to get huge damage onto this Hatterene now. And if we can KO Hatterene before the sun goes down, it puts us in a good position against Torkoal as well. Okay, so I'm going to go Thunderbolt into Hatterene and Drain Punch into this Kingambit. I'm not sure there's any way for them to punish us here. Yeah, we survived the Sucker Punch thanks to Reflect. Life Orb Sucker Punch at that. Rotom's a tank. Kingambit goes down. Easy clap. Annihilape's back at full with a little bit of charge on my Rage Fist. Rotom's going to pick up this KO with the Thunderbolt. And then it's Torkoal versus the world, and we should be good here. So this is a message for the newer VGC players. I know when I first started, Trick Room felt like it was unbeatable, like it was super problematic, but the thing you got to realize is that it really isn't that long. Especially with Light Screen and Reflect, it's really hard for Trick Room players to get the damage they need to get off. So if you can, use Protects well or defensive switches, not too often, you don't want to become predictable, but, one or two really good defensive plays can make it almost impossible for the Trick Room player to win. So that's what we saw here. They swapped their Torkoal out and wasted a turn on the same turn that they hit their Psychic into a Protect, and it became unwinnable for them. So yeah, word of advice is just, keep practicing against Trick Room, and you'll get comfortable with how long it takes to get through it. It becomes a lot more manageable. So GG to my opponent there. Okay, so our second opponent, Alessandro, has a pretty strong standard Tailwind team. I like screens with Grimmsnarl in the beginning. They got a lot of Mons that don't do well into Rotom. That's the first thing I noticed. So I'm going to bring Rotom, and I'm going to try my defensive core out a little bit on this one. I could go more offense, but I want to bring Amoonguss. Just really comfortable with Amoonguss, and I think I'll go Taz. Taz is pretty good in all these Pokemon, especially Garchomp. I like Bulk Up. The Taunt could be good for stopping a Belly Drum on a Azumarill. And I'm going to lock that in. So, yeah, I'm looking at their team, and Rotom beats Azumarill. It beats their Rotom. It's really good into the Goldango. Kind of stops it from wanting to click Make It Rain with the 4x resist. And, this team is cool because you can go hyper offense and bring all 4 offensive Mons. You can set screens and use 3 offensive Mons. Or you can kind of, try to pester their Pokemon. Now, Amoonguss is pretty good into this team. It can take hits from Garchomp. It can take hits from Hydreigon. It's pretty good into Goldango and Azumarill especially. So, I'm comfortable bringing it and just, trying to outplay my opponent. Instead of, having to just go blow for blow with the offensive Mons. So that's my game plan. That's what we'll do. Let's see if we can make it happen. As always, good luck, have fun. Okay, we see Garchomp Hydreigon, so they forego the Tailwind route. So I am feeling most threatened by Hydreigon. Trying to see what they have in the back. Most likely a Goldango back there, but I mean, who knows? I think because I'm feeling most threatened by Hydreigon, I could just go Spirit Break into it, but I want a Light Screen just in case they go Terra, like Poison or Steel. And Nasty Plot could be cool, but I think I want to just blast a Hydro Pump at Garchomp. Test the waters. They do go Terra turn 1. Okay, it's Terra Steel, Hydreigon, so glad we went for the Light Screen first. They protect Garchomp, that's a good play. Flash Cannon. Alright, we take that relatively well. Pretty good damage. Their Life Orb, that's cool to see, so Hydro Pump goes into the Protect. Now, I do want to get up my Reflect. I'd say that I've lost a little bit of momentum here, so I want to try to get it back and go for the Nasty Plot. Rotom's really good in this matchup, so if I can get it charged up, it's going to do big things. They switch out Garchomp into Azumarill, expecting the Hydro Pump. We get the Reflect off. And they just drop a Draco on us. It does a lot, but we're going to munch our Citrus Berry and we'll take another one. I'll take that trade for the plot. Now Rotom's charged up and ready to go. I could switch in Amoonguss, but I'd rather it just be at full health. So I think I'll just go Spirit Break into Hydreigon, try to drop its special attack a little more. And the Thunderbolt on Azumarill is pretty obvious. Being the case, I don't want to go for it. I'm going to Hydro Pump into Hydreigon just in case they switch out. They just go for a Dark Pulse. And we flinch. That's cool though. So, another bad turn for us, but Hydreigon's still on the field, not doing very much damage, and we are faster than Azumarill. I think what I want to do is I want to bring out Annihilape, just to kind of tempt them to going into another play rough. And I can Drain Punch the Hydreigon, but I don't really mind it being on the field. They could have Goldango in the back. I don't know if I can afford to lose any more momentum. I do just want to hit this Hydreigon with a Drain Punch, but I think it's a smarter play to go for the Rage Fist into Hydreigon. Just chip it down and get it in range of an attack later, and I'll Thunderbolt the Azumarill. Okay, they fish for another flinch. We get off a nice Rage Fist. Doesn't KO, but that's cool. And T-Bolt picks up Azumarill like it hangs out at Weenie Hut Jr. Get him. Pop off. Alright, so that Rotom Nasty Plot is paying off. Let's see if we can finish strong. It's a 3v3. Both Hydreigon and Rotom are low, but they're at -2 and I'm at +2. Let's see who they decide to bring in here. Okay, they send out their own Rotom. We can take it out with a Hydro Pump. I want to Drain Punch Hydreigon and just protect Rotom here. Just to see if they protect or try to attack with Hydreigon. Okay, they Flash Cannon into Annihilape. Huge damage. Drain Punch connects, and we will heal up. We should heal up all the way after leftovers. And they don't want to go for overheats with this Rotom. They go for a Thunderbolt. So none of my Terras make sense right now. I mean, I guess it could make sense to take away my water typing so that Thunderbolt does less. But, yeah, we'll see. I'm going to go for the bulk up here and start setting up Annihilape for the end game. And I think I'll just fire off a Hydro Pump into Rotom. They protect their Rotom. But they go for an Earthquake, so we're going to be fine. Let's see how well we take this. Yeah, it doesn't do much to Annihilape, and we get the bulk up, so I'm not worried about Garchomp anymore. We definitely win that 1v1. I just want to get rid of this Rotom here before our light screen goes away. So let's check how many turns we have left. So we set up light screen first. Yeah, so 2 more turns of light screen. So I want to just double up into this Rotom now. We'll go Hydro Pump and Drain Punch into it. They protect Garchomp. That should win us the game. Drain Punch does a lot, but not quite as much as I was hoping. If they're faster, this could be a problem. Maybe I should have Terra'd. But we're faster and we connect. So that's GG. Garchomp is not going to beat both Rotom and a bulked up Annihilape. Not to mention we still have Amoonguss in the back. So I'll just go for the Drain Punch here. And Hydro Pump. And battle was cancelled. GG Alessandro. That was a blast. Okay, our final battle of the episode. We do see some Dondozo Tatsugiri, Meowscarada, and then Armarouge, Sylveon, and Hydreigon. So this is a tricky matchup. On one hand, I want to bring on my defense, but Meowscarada just terrifies me. I'm going to go Amoonguss in the lead with Grimmsnarl. And then I like Hydreigon and Rotom. Rotom deals with Armarouge, Tatsugiri, Dondozo. Hydreigon, with Amoonguss' help, can beat Sylveon. It's just that Meowscarada, but I mean, they can't bring everything, right? I think I actually want to go with a little bit more offense up front, just looking at how offensive this team is. So I'm going to drop Grimmsnarl. And bring it in the back. And yeah, Rotom is just too good here. As long as I can get rid of Meowscarada, I'm gonna lock it in. This is a tough one, but they can't bring everything, so there's that going for us. Let's have a good battle. And yo, if you're still here, I really appreciate your time. You know, it's really cool having y'all watching. The uptick in participation has been dope. So just want to say thank you for everybody who's been following along, and hope you're in it for the long haul. Alright, we see Sylveon Hydreigon against Amoonguss Hydreigon. This isn't terrible. I'm going to go for the Spore into Hydreigon turn 1 and then just protect mine. Maybe try to bait out their Terra. Okay, they don't Terra. That's cool though. They said a Tailwind. Amoonguss should take Hyper Voice extremely well. Yeah, that does nothing. Okay, Throat Spray. That's interesting. Good night. A little dose of chamomile for the boy. Alright, so we don't have to worry about Hydreigon doing any damage this turn. I think I'm willing to commit the Terra to Hydreigon. I'm going to try to Spore Sylveon and then just go for a Draco into Hydreigon. I can use Spore to stall out their Tailwind, or most of it. And if they go Terra Fire Sylveon to take out my Amoonguss right now, then that means that their Hydreigon's going down to this Draco, so I like the way that feels. They go for their own Terra, and it's Hydreigon, and it's a Steel type, so it's gonna take this Draco really well. But Amoonguss should survive the turn to get off the Spore. Mandatory sleep turn. We take Hyper Voice pretty well for it being +1. Wow, that actually does a lot of damage. No crit either. Just the power of Hydreigon. Okay, so they got 2 more turns of Tailwind. I'm gonna Clear Smog Sylveon to get rid of its boost and just go for a Flamethrower into Hydreigon. Okay, they switch out Sylveon before it takes its mandatory sleep turn, so it's good to keep track of that. Hydreigon takes sleep turn 2. Flamethrower doesn't quite pick up the KO, but that's okay. Little chip on Tatsugiri. Break Sash if they had it. I'm gonna Spore Hydreigon just in case it wakes up, and I'm gonna switch into Grimmsnarl in case they try to go for a Draco here. Try to get some screens up for the end game. Okay, Muddy Water. Misses Amoonguss. And Grimmsnarl. That's rough. And Hydreigon takes his 3rd turn of sleep. Spore into nothing. I could have just spored the Tatsugiri, but that's alright. Tailwind's gone too, so Hydreigon can wake up right now and set it again if it wants to. I think I want to get some Regenerator on Amoonguss. Try to take this Muddy Water. And then, let's see, what do they have? They have Tatsugiri, they have Hydreigon and Sylveon. Light Screen makes sense. Light Screen's good against every Pokemon they've shown so far. Just don't really want to take a Flash Cannon. I don't really have a choice though. They swap Tatsugiri into Meowscarada, maybe expecting a Spore. Hydreigon leaves too, so we're not going to get punished this turn. No Tailwind. Sylveon comes out. Righto. Sylveon hasn't taken its mandatory sleep turn yet, so we just have to worry about Meowscarada for now. I get up a Light Screen. Spirit Break and Meowscarada would have been dope, but I'm just going to go for Protect on Rotom right now and Spirit Break Meowscarada. Okay, cool. We take the Flower Trick into the Protect. Grimmsnarl is faster than Sylveon, or at least speed time. And they go down to Sash. Critical hit. Sylveon takes the first turn. Okay, so because we know we're faster than Sylveon, I can make sure that I KO Meowscarada. Nothing in the back wants to take a Thunderbolt. So I'm just going to hit Thunderbolt onto Meowscarada. And Spirit Break it as well. Okay, they are going to KO Rotom. But that's fine. Okay, we outspeed again. Meowscarada is goodbye. This is still a close one. And they wake up. But they go for a yawn. I think Hyper Voice was the better play. I got Hydreigon now. And I'm going to bring it out. They've used their Terra, so I'm not really threatened by Sylveon with Hydreigon. I need to get rid of this Tatsugiri. I'm going to go for Draco and T-Wave it. They may not expect this. My Grimmsnarl's yawned, so they probably expect me to switch it out, but I think this is more valuable. Okay, we hit 190% accurate move. And Draco connects. Let's go. Long live the agency. Shout out to Blunder. Alright, they yawn Hydreigon. This is cool. Grim falls asleep. I can't let Hydreigon fall asleep. So they still have their Hydreigon. And I'm going to switch Amoonguss in for mine. And I'll just try to Spirit Break Hydreigon. I'm guaranteed to sleep here, but this is tight. This is still tight. Hydreigon wakes up. Goes Flash Cannon. Oh, but their Life Orb. We hadn't seen them attack yet. That's huge. So they KO themselves. Grim takes Mandatory Sleep turn 1. And looks like that's the last we'll be seeing of him this episode. But job well done. That T-Wave into Tatsugiri was so clutch. So now it's up to Amoonguss and Hydreigon to bring it home for the agency. Now, I'm going to go for the Spore here and just protect. They don't have anything they can KO Amoonguss, so this is a pretty safe play. He's praying for the super duper crit right now. Lord, hear our prayers. Come on, fam. Ain't much to it. They go for the yawn. That's gonna hurt. And now we can just whittle them down with the flamethrowers and clear smogs. So this game is wrapped up. Okay, I mean, they take that pretty well, but Clear Smog is super effective. And Flamethrower may not KO, but I mean, they have to wake up this turn, and there's no W here for them. GG to my opponent. This team is solid. I mean, you can see even when you bring the full defensive core, you know, if you play it well behind those screens, using Amoonguss right, it just, you know, you can beat hard offense. I mean, they went 4 big hitters. Even Tatsugiri has pretty solid special attack. I think it's like base 120. And you know, we just kind of outbulked them. And Spore also played a big part. But I mean, you gotta have more Spore counters than just bringing Meowscarada. And that's gonna wrap it up. So, good set of battles for the episode. Appreciate y'all sticking around and watching. If you're still here, thank you for your time. And if you want to hit that subscribe button and catch the next one, I'd love that. So, thanks for coming out. GG to Dan. Sorry about all the sleep, but you got to do what you got to do sometimes. So, I'm going to call it there. I appreciate y'all sticking around. Everyone have a Merry Christmas. Enjoy the time with your friends and family. And until next time, peace.